Well, hello there, guys and girls. Starting a new video on the vn800 build. And I started with taking some parts off that I wasn't going to use, except for the tank. I might use that. I have a second one, but we'll see. First of all, took that Chinese seat off. It's a horrible thing. It's an ugly design, and it's just cheap. Took off the fender. As you can see, the build quality is just extreme. And gets more beautiful the more you look at it. So I'm gonna do something else with the rear fender. Took the mirrors off and the little leather bag because yeah, they're not my thing. I'm gonna go with round mirrors. I like those better. And the leather bag was on there with bolts sticking through threaded holes in the frame. It was a mess. So I took that off. And yeah, let's see the bike then. And there she is. She doesn't have a name yet. I've been calling her a pig, but that's not the bike's fault. I started working on it a bit, started polishing the chrome and the engine and cleaning up the paint here and there. I'm waiting for the parts to fix the stabilizer rubbers in the engine. If that fixes the knocking noise, then I know I got a good engine. And if that's the case, then I will move on and start working on other parts like the carb rebuild and, well, everything I want to do to it. So it's going to be a lot. The entire front end is going to be for sale. I'm going to sell it to fund my project a bit. It's pretty decent, although the chrome isn't perfect. And the front wheel, I polished a little bit. It's coming out pretty nicely, so I think you can, yeah, really get a good driver out of it. And it all works. It just needs new rubbers, seals, because they are leaking. Maybe I'll do that before I sell it. It couldn't hurt. I took it for a small ride before I took it apart, and it scared me to death. And I don't scare that easily, but I was going into a corner, thankfully pretty slow, and it just fell into it. Turns out the risers have been lengthened with bushings, and they are freaking loose. How the hell can you drive it with that? It's dangerous. So the handlebars just twisted without the front end moving, and I fell into a corner. Thankfully I was going slow, but wow. There's some crazy people out there. First of all, I would never recommend just get longer risers. Don't put a bushing in between it. That's just crazy. So but yeah, sadly, people think they can build bikes and some just shouldn't. So I'm waiting for the parts, then I'm gonna take off the cover and replace those rubbers, hopefully fix it. I kept the entire fuel system intact with the air filter because I'm not gonna use it eventually. I want to go to an SNS teardrop air filter, take all this plastic stuff off and drive it like that. But for now I left it intact, so when I put those new rubbers in there, I can let it run and see if the knocking noise is gone. And if not, this engine got some serious problems, probably the big end or something, and I should not build it. I've been looking around. A second-hand engine is either $650 up to $1,250, and that's a lot of money. If the engine turns out to be bad, I'm just gonna part it out because there's a lot of good parts on it and go look for another one. Because I'm not gonna rebuild the entire engine. I don't have the time for it, sadly, and yeah. I have to stay reasonable, so that. They changed the choke location, and doing that, it's broken now. So that really helps. I polished the chrome a bit, so it looks pretty good. Polished the wheel a bit and the aluminum. So I got some hours into it already. I love the forward controls, although they aren't the best quality. There's a lot of play in the parts. I wouldn't make it like that, but the other one is worse, the shifting lever. I'm gonna make bushings for it and get it right, because I like clean switching gears. But for the most part it came out pretty nice. There's a big blister there in the chrome and a lot of blisters there. You won't see it with the tank on it, but if I find good ones I will replace them. The back tire is pretty recent and pretty good. I don't mind the style. There's going to be a fender over it, so I won't see it anyway. Front tire is pretty good too, but again, I'm not going to use it because I'm going to use the Springer and it has a brand new tire on it and a 21-inch Harley Davidson wheel. But I might replace it for a chrome one. I like chrome wheels. Took some parts off already, like the forward controls and the kickstand. There's a kill switch on the kickstand, so you can't start it with it down. They just cut off the wires and left it there, and it wasn't even tight, it was loose, so you could have just lost it. And I keep finding loose bolts like this one. You don't want to lose that stuff. They made indicators. And if you use tape and bathroom sealant, I wouldn't call yourself a motorcycle builder. So that there's a lot of work on it, and there's a lot to clean up, all the brackets and stuff. So I'm gonna piece and part out the frame paint-wise, like clean up a bunch, and then clean up another bunch. I can't take it all apart. I would do that. I know that's the right thing to do. But I'm gonna do it in stages. Just use the same paint, and black, it will be black. So that won't be a problem. That's how they mounted the rear fender. I think they got little weld tags, but they just drilled it and filed it and then put bolts in there, and they are crooked. One is going that way and that one is going that way. It's not the best quality, but yeah, I get it. Some people don't know how to do it, or they don't want to do it right. All the bolts they use are like an inch too long, sticking out everywhere. They mounted the bag on these two holes. This one was knackered, so they put a smaller bolt through it and a nut behind it, and I just drill it out, tap it, put the right bolt in there. But no, they have to do it the wrong way. And I can fix all that, and it annoys me, but on the other hand, I got a cheap bike, and you can expect that stuff. It's just the way it works, sadly. All these controls, I'm gonna either clean them up, make them shine, and then stamp new letters in it. And with a little marker, I'm gonna put it in black. Or maybe if I find decent ones, I'll just buy decent ones. Because if the price is right, I'm gonna do it. Because my time is precious still. I have to work a lot to make ends meet. So spending time or spending money, there's a balance there. And if I can do one, I'll do it to save either time or money. So yeah, it needs a lot of cleanup and a lot of work. But it's a cool project. I'm still happy with it. I like it. I had to take off the Speedo to take the tank off, and there's a nut for the, what do you call it, day timer? No. There's a word for it. I just lost it. Day trip meter, I believe it is. The screw started rusting and got stuck inside the plastic tube, which is a great design. So I had to destroy the plastic tube to get it off. Thankfully, I didn't destroy the Speedo. So I'm gonna have to find a new plastic tube. The plastic side covers are good, but I might go for aftermarket chrome ones. Or I'll paint these, which is also an option. The forward controls, there's a lot of play on the axle, and that really annoys me. Also, the foot pegs are worn out and damaged, so I'm gonna look for new ones together with the shift pedal knob, what do you want to call it. And I'm gonna just clean it up. I really like them, so I'm gonna clean them up, make them nice, make them work smooth, and yeah, get a good shift out of the bike. Cleaned up the rim a bit, because I'm gonna keep it. Need some more love, but I still got time until the parts arrive, because they didn't have it in stock, so I don't know where it comes from, but it takes about a week. And that's about it for today. My little project. She doesn't have a name yet. I usually name all my bikes, but I've been calling it a pig, but that's not really charming. But yeah, she'll get a good name when time arrives. And I'm gonna put in the time and the effort to make it a cool bike. So I got something cool to drive this summer. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next vid.